My dating history is, I'm not gonna call it trash, but it's slightly above. Like, it's
My
not.
dating history is extremely limited. Which is why it's so funny to me when this is how I know the internet's stupid. But this, and we won't do this June sweep, I swear. But this is why it's so funny to me, and it's so stupid because I've been called. This is why I posted the thing and I asked the question on my Instagram a while ago of like, fellas, what's a pick me? And most dudes have no idea, which is why I'm like, I know chicks came up with this as a way to shame other women. To miserable, bitter single chicks came up with this term to shame women who don't agree with their mentality on how they feel dating should be. And they hate on women who believe dating should be a partnership, is what I've come to the conclusion of. Because it's been funny to me to, if I go back and forth with one of these chicks about stuff, and you know me, like me and you have had these conversations, we have all these conversations, the guys have been on here, and to have women be like, you a pick me, did he pick you? I'm like, what are you talking? Because it's so funny to hear women tell me I'm a pick me, when all my life I've had dudes tell me, yo, you too independent, man, you too this, you too this, you too. So it's so funny to be like, wouldn't that be aren't they the antithesis? How you want to tell me that I'm Batman and the Joker? Like, how am I both this? Like, how am I the hero and the villain? Like, make that make sense.
You Deadpool. That's what that is. You know, Deadpool, like the
But that's my thing, because it was like, and I don't remember what it was, but I basically was like, I mean, I don't remember what the statement was that was made, but it was by a chick about chicks. And I was like, well, here's the thing with that. Or about guys and what guys want. And I was like, it kind of depends on the guy, and you got to understand. I know what it was. I know what one of them was. One of them was me saying on this post or on this page that I was like, every chick doesn't want to get married. Like, I don't want to get married. Like, that's never been an aspiration. And one, I was told that I was a liar, and I was a liar. Two was like, oh, you would pick me because, and I'm like, the funniest part about it to me was like, you know how many relationships have ended because I was the party that didn't want to get married? Like, if I was really a pick me, which basically it means I want dudes to give me all this attention, and I'm saying what I think is gonna keep them around, wouldn't that have kept them around? Because the irony is Cody broke up with me in high school because I said I never wanted to get married. Zoe and I had a whole conversation, and I think he thought I was kidding. And when I realized, we broke up, and then we had talked about getting back together, and he said to me, if we get back together and we make it a year, then I'm gonna go ring shopping or something like that. And I said, we don't need to get back together because that's not where I'm at. It's not where I'm at. Now with you, at the very least, that's not where I'm at all, really. My grandmother at 12, when I told her, well, I want all these kids, and she was like, what about your husband? I said, my what now? My who? Why would I do that? Why would I do that part? Like, why? And she thought I was crazy. But it was just funny to me because, again, I was one called a liar, and I was like, so I've been lying to myself since I was 12. Okay. Then it was, you would pick me. And I was like, well, if that were the case, wouldn't there be more dudes around? If, like, why would all these dudes, and mind you, the dudes that left, Zoe's married now. Will divorced, but he got married. You gotta get married to get divorced. He was married for a time, and I was just like, I'm not trying to get married. And we, then he went married somebody else. Marshall was hanging around because he keeps telling people, I'm trying to make her my wife, man. And I'm like, I mean, unless we having kids, I don't really see the point, bro. Like, I don't really see the point. Don't be real. And I'm on the fence about kids right now. So I don't really, you already got 5. Like, do you really need more? Do I need to spend more money on kids? Like, it's just so funny to me because I'm like, and then it made me realize the reason that y'all hate quote unquote pick me's is because whether they pick me's or not, whether they out here doing all they do for male attention, they're getting male attention. They're going on dates. You're not. And so that's what this is really about.
people find, and the whole pick me simp thing, I'd be like, oh, okay, because all the dudes out here that call dudes simps, it's like, okay, so what so what would you want your daughter to date?
That part.
You want her to date what? I want her to date no simp. Okay. So you want her to date what then? And I was watching a TikTok. I can't think of the girl name, but she be all over the place. She was like, she made this point too. She was like, y'all keep calling Russell Simmons a simp. When we have seen, she said, man, just based off what we have seen.
Russell Simmons or Russell Wilson?
I mean, Russell Wilson, a simp. And the only thing we have literally seen is him love his wife, respect his wife, and raise those kids. We haven't seen him being disrespectful, talking sideways, cheating, like none of this stuff, but he's a simp. And that's supposed to be a bad thing. But, and then she said, that's what she said, what I just said. So what were you going to tell you going to take to tell your daughter? Oh, date a Future and not a Russell? And the dude was like, oh, you getting mad aggressive. She was like, no, you're trying to digress. I fell out laughing. She was like, because I don't agree with you and because I have a point and because I'm straightforward with what I'm saying, now you're telling me that I'm aggressive. I'm not aggressive. I'm not emotional. It's just irritating because the same people who say, oh, don't do X, Y, and Z, if you put it into perspective to them in reference to something close to them, then their opinion then changes. Or they have exceptions or exemptions to what it was that they just said. And then the clip cut off. I was like, ooh.
Or this is how you know you want an argument. And I'll never forget this. And I don't know where this quote comes from. If somebody has to resort to personal attacks, they've lost. Because your arguments you don't have anymore. Mm-hmm. You don't have anymore. You're coming at, man, you aggressive. Because now you're trying to deflect. Mm-hmm. Instead of the topic, which the topic is simps, because she made a point that you can't go against, you can't contradict, you can't justify. Now you want to go to, oh, you being an aggressive woman and try to call her masculine. Now you're trying to personally attack her. That's what that is. That's all that is. It's no different than if you make a good point.
I made a good point. Emotional. I'm not emotional. She was like, I'm telling you what it is. And the other girl who said, because I was like, no, we're not emotional. It's just irritating. But that's the way that you, but that's the way. Not be emotional. Like today, my daughter says that she wishes death upon me. She wish I die. Oh, okay. Am I upset? No. Do I really feel any way about it? The only way I feel about it is irritated. But I also let her know, how that will impact her life. But I also let her know about this thing called karma, when you wish bad things on people and how they come back threefold, sometimes 10.
But that's the whole thing with all of that is, again, that's why I don't understand the whole simp thing. But to me, it's no different than the pick me. What a simp to me is because again, women, we don't call guys that. I've never called a guy that. I've never heard a woman really call a guy that. It's no different than a pick me. It's the Futures of the world trying to shame the Russell Wilsons by calling them that. Because as long as the Russell Wilsons exist, they make the Futures look bad. If every dude out here is Future, that's par for the course. But if you have a bunch of Russell Simmons, a bunch of Russell Wilsons, you don't got me messed up. A bunch of Russell Wilsons, then now women can go, so why can't you do that? Mm-hmm. And it holds you to a standard, and you don't want to be held to that standard.
And that's it. That's the issue. That's what's wrong with the dating world right now. Being held to a standard, and it's just a simple standard of right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or any standard. Being held to a standard means now I got to be accountable. This world will do anything to dodge accountability. Mm-hmm. You pick that to the point where it's detrimental, to the point where they will be accountable and deflect in them being accountable, which completely then obliviates the reason for them being accountable. Like, how do you own your accountability and then deflect it? No, baby.
But that's the issue. The problem is, again, when it comes to men, the reason that they call these guys simps is because these men are making you be held to a standard that you don't want to reach for. And what it's doing is making women look at them and say, that's the standard, you get there or get out my face. And you don't like that rejection. Now, on the woman's pick me side, the reason that women go, oh, you a pick me, is because these women who can see beyond material, who see a partnership and see beyond themselves and can actually work with a man instead of trying to use one. You want everybody to be a user because, again, you then want to be the standard of, no, we just use dudes, F dudes get money. You want to be on that 1994 Little Kim Junior Mafia. And people who have evolved past that are like, I mean, that's stupid. So you feel if you can shame these women, and you're also jealous of these, you're jealous of these women because these women are dating. These women are actually going out.
In marriages and relationships, and yes, marriages and in any relationship shit, in friendships, you go through things, but because they go through things, girls see, so they pick those things.
Well, they're not even calling pick. They're not calling the married chick. They probably are on social media.
Yes, they are. Oh, the things I've heard is, yes, they are. Oh, that's because that's how she got chose. What?
But that's the thing. But that proves my point. That's the jealousy. That's how she got chosen. Because you're not chosen and nobody's choosing you. And you're mad at the girl that's getting chosen. That's what that is. And that goes back to what we said podcasts ago about women in general and you always being in competition and you feeling X, Y, and Z. We said that a minute ago. Like that's what that is. It comes down to, because people who are in happy, healthy relationships don't do all that. I'm not going to call, even when I was single, this is why I say it's bitter and miserable single chick. Because when I was single, and I'm still single, like the IRS, I'm single, okay? I'm not bitter about it. I'm not miserable about it. I'm happy for everybody. And I remember being the single friend, quote unquote, and people trying to put what dudes would do is that. See, chicks do the whole pick me thing. What dudes would do, oh, you the bitter single friend, or you mad because you single. No, I'm good, actually, but okay. Like, oh, you mad because you single. No, you want, because again, what it is, no, you're on that bull crap, and I'm telling her you're on that bull crap, and now you mad at me because if I tell her there's a Russell Wilson out here and that you're a future, now you're mad at me because I'm the bitter, mad single friend. No, sweetie. You're a future. She could do better. Don't be mad at me because I'm telling my friend, I'm doing what a friend should do and encouraging her to do better than you. I mean, I've had a lot of dudes, oh, you the bitter, mad single friend. I guess. And it was funny to me. I had one dude say that to me. I was in a whole relationship. I was like, oh, okay. And then when a girl was like, I mean, she's got a boyfriend. Ain't no dude gonna be with her. And I was like, we've been together. We together. I got one. I mean, he's irrelevant. I don't need to parade him because he's irrelevant to this conversation.
Right. I don't need to have
whether I'm single or not doesn't change what I'm gonna say.
My relationship. Yep.
Whether I'm single, married, divorced, widowed, baby mama, doesn't matter. I'm gonna say what my feelings on the matter of you don't change. They don't. But that's what it is. Men try to simp other men because it's messing with, because that's all at the end of the day, it's all selfish ploy. It's if you do better or if you do this, then I can't get. So how do I get you to not do what you're doing so we're all miserable together, or so that you're not getting what I'm getting? And from the woman's perspective, it's so we're all miserable together, because again, the miserable single chicks are the ones saying it. And the thing that I can say to this, and again, it's limited posts that I've been seeing or pages, because I don't really follow them, but they, people do the ads, so it pops up, is I will never forget this one comment. This one girl was like, I don't remember what the post said, but she was like, well, I disagree with that. I mean, I've been with my guy for 17 years. We're not married, but we've been together 17 years. And everybody was like, he don't love you, sis. And I was like, he doesn't. So my question, I was like, how so? I mean, he doesn't love her enough to put a ring on it. I'm like, they've been together 17 years. Do you realize their relationship has shitted on a lot of marriages that the average, I was like, they've lasted Because she was like, we have a business together, we live together, we're together, we've been together. He don't love you, sis. I'm like, because he didn't put a ring on her finger? I'm like, really? And then seeing all of these likes on that statement and all of this other stuff, I said, oh, this is what it's about. Y'all aren't really chasing marriage. You're chasing jewelry. Because marriage is a partnership. Mm-hmm. Marriage is a commitment on the man's side and the woman's side. What it is y'all want to get married so y'all can get the ring because you want the jewelry. And so that if a divorce happens, you can take money and roll. That's what this is really about. And when dudes say this to you or other women bring this up and say this to you, you get mad. But that's the truth of it. You're not looking for a marriage. You're looking for a ring and a wedding. You're looking for jewelry and a ceremony. That's not the same thing. This woman, 17 years in, she's married. She's married. Legally?
Yeah, I mean,
no.
They got legally no, but if you have businesses together, you have certain parameters. But see, that also goes to personally. I wouldn't say that he doesn't love her, but I would say, in my personal opinion, why not? At this point, you get what I'm like? It's like with my parents. Y'all wait till now? Okay, whatever. You know, it's one of those things. Why not? Shit. Shit clearly ain't changing shit.
But again, to me, it becomes, I personally don't have an issue with marriage. My thing is, to these women specifically, that's not what you're looking for.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
Because to me, you're coming at this woman and telling her that her life partner
don't love her.
Does not love her because he didn't give her a piece of jewelry. And at the end of the day, part of me is like, how do you know that? How do you know she doesn't have 16 rings sitting on her? You know what I mean? Like a ring for every year. How do you know? How do you know? He never put a ring on it. How do you know she doesn't have 16 chilling? A ring for every year. How do you know that?
You don't know that. They just ain't did it legally. And right. I mean, my only thing is, when that nigga die, or you die, just make sure y'all good. And
right, make sure your paperwork is in order. But to be real, you don't necessarily have to be married for that. Marshall's got me on his insurance. I think Marshall is the beneficiary on one of my plans. And definitely the savings account for the house. If anything happens to me, it goes to him.
I'm married 7 years, and guess what? Any life insurance that I have, outside of the one man Rob got together, Rob don't get shit. Everything goes to Malachi. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
So I'm saying, like, this is my point. Marriage is not a one look. But what marriage itself is between the two people is a commitment. And if that chick got 17 years of a commitment without a ring, quite frankly, that would tell me, I would think that tells me that he's more invested, because I know dudes out here that are whole married and cheating because they just like, yo, it's cheaper to keep her.
I ain't got no ring. You can't hold me to shit.
But it's twofold. You could say, oh, well, he don't love her because he didn't put a ring on it. Or you could say he's uber committed because he doesn't have to be there.
Or you can say, bitch, you cheat.
Or you cheat. I mean, you don't like
why you don't want to get married. So who you out there for?
Or you cheat. Or you could say, there's so many things, but that's my thing. To say every dude, if he's not putting a ring on a chick, this is what it is. Not necessarily. Right. Marshall's best friend Ray will never get married again because the divorce process, he was like, never again. Right. My mama said she will never get married again. My father said he would never get married again. That's not saying that he doesn't love whoever he's with. My mom doesn't date, but if she did and loved the dude, cool. But she's like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Right, everybody got their own thing. I'm saying, I understand this, but so each his own.
I don't have an issue with people getting married or not. My issue is people keep trying. My issue is society trying to manipulate and control other people. That's the issue. This chick and her dude are happy with their 17 years of no rings and all commitment, and we here together, we making it work. Let them be great.
Right.
If this chick is like, yo, I'm good being a homebody. Stop trying to. That's the other thing, because that was one of the ones in the thing when I even had to look up what the hell Pick Me was, and one of the things was like, oh, if you claim you like going, staying in, we can just chill. No, you need to love yourself more than that. He need to take you out. Why? Why are you telling this woman, for example, if she's truly a homebody, you're telling her to not be authentic, to be inauthentic to herself so that she acts more like you? But she's not you. If you want to go out every day and you looking for this dude that's going to take you out every weekend, go find him. But if the dude that you want to take you out every day would rather be with the homebody chick, deal with it. Just because he's got the money to go out every weekend doesn't mean he wants to. Just because she has the time to go out every weekend doesn't mean she wants to.
I was like, facts. My husband's a homebody. I leave that nigga right at home and go do what I want to do. Right. Being a homebody don't have shit to do with shit. Even homebodies go out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mistake. Like, nigga, just because I like to be at home don't mean I never go out.
My thing is not to that, but to dating. If this woman is like, if the dude is like, hey, how do you know this dude doesn't have a hope? Go, baby, let's go to Red Lobster. I'm gonna take you. And she's like, or you could just grab a pizza, come to my house, and we watch Netflix. I'm good with that. And you're like, no, she being a pick me. No, that's who she is. She don't want to put on heels. She don't want to do her hair. She don't want to do none of that. She's like, I can get comfortable cute. You can come over here with a pizza because I don't want to eat Red Lobster. That's too
let's find that intimate than being out.
Then being out. I don't want a dark restaurant. This is the thing. She's not programmed. That's what it is. Stop being upset at people who are not buying into certain indoctrinations that say, oh, for a man to really want you or want to be with you, he got to take you to an expensive restaurant. Because again, some of the most intimate times I've had with guys, whether we're dating or we just friends, has been in somebody's house, watching TV, playing a video game, eating some pizza.
We sitting in the house, go like, yo, I want some ice cream. We get up, go to fucking Safeway, get some fucking ice cream and cookies, and come back home and pick out, like, we know damn well we're not getting old.
At the end of the day as well, if you get somebody in their home where they're comfortable, that's more than likely, that's the real them. You get somebody all dressed up on both sides, all dressed up out at this fancy restaurant, everybody's putting on airs, as they used to say. Everybody's putting on, this is who I am in this pace, in this plate, but you're not living in Red Lobster. You're not living in Ruth's Chris. You're not living in Fogo de Chao. You're not. You're living in your house. So who are you at home?
Who you when you peel back this wig?
I was just thinking, when this wig comes off and this scarf comes on, that's what
that's a whole different person, okay?
And that's how you figure out if you really like somebody anyway, because my whole thing with all of this, unless you're gonna, and there are these chicks, but unless you're gonna be that chick that gets up 2 hours early to beat her face, or 4 hours early, or whatever in the hell, unless that is really who you are, most dudes don't even, let me tell you what I've learned from the guys that I know. Most guys don't even really determine if they really like a chick until they see you at your quote unquote worst.
Look.
Until they see you in your house.
How I feel about my hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, motherfucking good. When he saw my hair by a goddamn accident because it wasn't finished when we were supposed to be going out, I was pissed. But I was pissed because that was my thing. You know what I'm saying? Not because, oh my God, I wish you I am. That was my thing. But if that's who you are, that's who you are.
And if the goal is marriage to these guys,
they like have to see that shit.
Like y'all claim it is? Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah. So me personally, this is why I was always, you know what? The quote unquote pick me who's like, now come to my house with pizza and let's just chill, is actually going to get further than you because she's going to figure out if dude wants to deal with her like off breath. I was always yo, you want to go out, Vaughn? Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Why don't you come to my house first and we can just kick it? Because you all see me regular schmegula degula. Because eventually, let's get this out the way on the first date, quite frankly. Maybe the second, if I want to be fancy and I'm like, I don't know if I like him, but I really want to go to this restaurant he's talking about, so let's go. But the next day, there's my date too, because I don't want to waste my time either. And if you come to my house and see me in my black scarf, my sweatpants, my oversized t-shirts, and you with the bleach stain and everything else, and you go run for the hills, this was never gonna work. Because them sweatpants, that bleach stained t-shirt, and this scarf are in my house. It's part of my wardrobe. That's who I am.
When I say I understand, I understand, because my husband knew from jump. Michelle and laundry, Michelle and cooking. When we were dating, I don't cook.
And that's the other thing I don't agree with. And I didn't agree with this one back in the day. And I feel like we keep going back to that. Don't show a man who you really are until like date 15. Why did you? But here's what I know about modern day women. But then you're going to be mad that you wasted your own time. Because you're then going to go in 3 months and be like, he wasted my time. No, you wasted your time. Because had you told him from jump, I don't cook, I don't clean, I will vacuum on Tuesdays, I make the bed once on Sundays. Had you given him this is who I am. Take it or leave it. You wouldn't be 3 months in talking about he wasted my time.
That's what I tell people.
No, he saw who you actually are after you let your guard down in 3 months and he decided he didn't want to be bothered. You wasted his time. Me, I've always been, here's my warning label, guys. Here, read all of this. This is everything. Here's the fine print on me, on the table. Read through it. Let me know if you really want to deal. Come back.
I told him, great. Oh, I hate washing clothes. I will go buy something before I wash clothes. But he didn't know until he opened my closet. I was like, you don't want to do that. He was like, all these clothes? I was like, you going to wash eventually? And then one day he was like, oh, you wash clothes? Yep. Now, oh, you folded them? Nope. Now, if I fold them, then I'm putting them up. But they will stay in that basket until I need the basket to put my dirty clothes in. Like
this, if you're really
laundry,
my thing is this.
And I told him that.
If the goal is really, again, if the goal that all you women tell it is to get the ring means you're getting married, which means this person is going to see all your flaws anyway, on a daily. Be honest up front with who you are to yourself and to them and figure out if y'all can deal. That's male and female.
The only thing you say at that point is, nigga,
I told you.
You knew this.
You knew this. I told you this from the jump. These are the roots of who I am.
That's why this nigga used to get mad. I told you I don't cook. The fuck? How you mad? Like you,
especially if I'm telling. See, here's the thing. If I'm telling you something that's normally that's societally determined to be a negative, I'm not a pick-me's, sweetie. Like being a pick-me would be, I know good and daggone well I don't cook, but I cook all the time, and lying. Pick-me is lying. If you're not lying, then you're not a pick-me. You just are different than the regular schmegula degula, and props to you for being an independent thinker and doing whatever your own thing is. If you're the woman that's like, I don't want to get married, props to you. If you're the woman who's like, you know what, I'm good just chilling in the house, props to you. If you're the woman who's like, I'm really into sports, props to you, because I've known a couple of them. If you're the chick that's really into video games, props to you. If that's who you are, that's who you are. If you're one of those, I don't drink wine, I drink beer, props to you. It's not necessarily that women are doing this to get a man. That's who these chicks are. Just because that's not who you are doesn't mean that they're trying to bag some dude. They are living their lives and being truthful.
But the other part of that is having some type of decorum. Yes, did my husband know I didn't cook and laundry wasn't my thing? Yes. But I think this is where they get things confused. I'm going to tell you my flaws, but I'm going to show you my strengths. So when in showing you my strengths is, you're doing X, Y, and Z, because I have a standard of how I'm going to present myself in general, and how I am at home may be different. Well, it is different because I'm at home in the security of me. That's the difference. You know, a lot of the people who holler pick me and all that stuff are mistaking pick me for my outside versus the privacy of my own home. The issue is in this society right now, there's no such thing as privacy.
Right. Everything has got to be public.
Everything has got to be out there all this. No, I am not the same person at work that I am at home. Have you lost your mind?
And it's what I require...
I am not the same person at church that I am at home or at a park or at karaoke. I'm not the same person. And I'm not the same person not because I'm trying to be fake or phony. It's because there's appropriate behavior for different environments.
Period. And if I'm dealing with this guy who's in my personal, then he's going to see a side of me that's genuine to me that's not going to rock with everybody else.
It's not going to rock with everybody else. And he's also going to see the genuine me. And he's also going to see the me when I'm out in public. So he's going to be able to see the different sides of me. And because he sees that, if we get into it, then he's going to tell you about the other side that you may not be privy to because you're not in my home. So don't call me two-faced or I'm a pick me or I was only doing. No. It wasn't I wasn't only doing. It was I was doing this because of the environment I was in. When I'm at home, I ain't doing that shit. Point blank period. Because it's my house. It's my privacy.
Or even who you are just as a person. If you don't meet the status quo for whatever reason, because you think differently, you feel differently, whether you a Black Republican and I only say that because they're not a lot of them. But I mean, to say, oh, you want to be white. No, they're just a Black Republican. If those morals, values, platforms speak to them, then they speak to them. Everybody doesn't have to be on the Democratic plantation. So
I'm not a Democrat.
I'm not a Democrat either. I'm not a Republican either, but I'm not a Democrat. I'm neither one, quite frankly. And that's the other thing. I don't have to be, because the minute I tell somebody I'm not a Democrat, oh, you must be a Republican, or you want to be white. Why? And that's the other problem that I have with the world in general. And I swear we're going to record this. Everything is not binary. I mean, y'all swear gender is fluid. So why can't thought be fluid? Why do I have to think either this or this? Neither or something in the middle is also an option. Neither both or something in the middle is always an option.
Exactly. And that's where I am. That's why I say I'm independent. I ain't on either side. Count me as other.
It doesn't have to be a one or the other. And again, if you think that somebody is a simp in one instance, or Russell, here's my thing about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a grown man who made the decision that he made to love the woman that he does, to marry the woman that he did. And it's funny because Ciara, everybody's like, oh, that's the come up. My thing with Ciara is this. Ciara had one kid by Future and moved the hell on. What is she supposed to be shackled to this man her entire existence?
Yes. That's the part that I don't understand. Like, he wasn't even the first person that she dated. They don't talk about Bow Wow like that. They don't talk about none of the other people that she dated like that. It's always her relation to Future because she had a kid with him. Look, a lot of us got kids with the one who we probably shouldn't have been with, but we're not chained to them.
No. And to that point, what's done is done and the kid is here. So is she supposed to spend her whole life whining, crying, depressed, sitting in a corner about how I messed up? Like, that's what kills me with this whole accountability thing that dudes swear that they want women to take. Women need to take accountability. She birthed a baby and is raising it. How more accountable do you want her to be? While you sit up here and bitch, moan, whine, groan, complain about child support. How more responsible is she supposed to be? Her money goes to this kid. While all these dudes out here talking about old child support, listen, rent, she still has to pay. And now she's probably got to pay more. I'm going to take all the welfare queens out of this conversation. She's got to pay more because she can't even just get a one bedroom. Now she needs two. So she's shelling out more money than you are.
No, she needs three.
I'm talking about a chick with one kid.
Oh, right.
You need two. Now she needs two. So while you, sir, and I'm assuming that y'all only got this one kid together, you can still go live in a 1-bedroom. She needs 2. She's running more gas than you because she not only has to just go to work and go home, now she got to go to work, go get him or her, go get the child from wherever the child is. All that's extra gas money that she's spending. Since dudes like to talk about money, let's talk about money. Let's talk about money. She's got to now spend that. Clothes. She can't just buy her own. She got to get clothes for the kid too now. Food. She can't just eat her own stuff. She out here got to buy food for the kid too. And again, I'm not talking to people on welfare. I'm not talking to people on child because I know, contrary to what people want to believe, every single mother out here is not on assistance. Every single mother out here does not even qualify to be on assistance. So for the millions out here who are not on assistance, they're spending more than you. She got to put the kid on her insurance. Anybody who's ever paid insurance for anybody outside of them knows what that looks like. It's a mess. It's a lot.
Put that insurance with the new job. Like,
which means she's also not only running gas more, now she's putting more wear and tear on her car, which means it's gonna fold faster. It's gonna die faster because she's immediately putting more miles on it to go get the kid, drop the kid off, drop the kid, go get the kid back and forth.
That's one of those situations where we're not talking about co-parenting. See, because when you co-parenting, then yes, you are splitting that responsibility. We talk about all y'all who bitching and moaning about Future because we don't know what Future is doing. And I'm not going to say that he not taking care, you know what I'm saying, his kid. But
my point to that was I'm just get annoyed with everybody, with people coming on Ciara, like you say, about y'all only ever talk about Future because she had a kid with him. And was that her best decision? No, not necessarily. But who's to say? Because quite frankly, that decision led her to Russell Wilson.
Right. Because
in the grand scheme of her life, however that happened, that led her to where she is. So who's to say that wasn't? That trial and tribulation led her to the promised land. So who's to say that wasn't a great?
Right. But see, the other part of that is Russell, where he's a good dude, he not perfect, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Perfect. Like, he got his faults. Y'all just don't see them. She does. And she understands he has faults. I have faults. They understand.
It's easier to put it on the woman when you see the kid. But the irony of it, and I appreciated Ciara when she said this, was everybody coming at her off of one kid, but nobody saying anything to Future, and he's got multiple women. Mm-hmm. In addition to when she brought up the fact that he had this big ass issue about Russell Wilson being around his daughter or his child, because I don't remember that boy or girl. His son. But Future ain't have any issue with her being around all his damn kids.
None whatsoever. But we all said that anybody with any real common sense and knows what it takes to really raise a child without all the dumb shit, they knew that, nigga, get your pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your pride out the way. Oh, no. She shouldn't be having all these men. All these men, it was one man that she ended up marrying. What about y'all having all these women around the rest of y'all kids? Like, what?
And then making more kids with those
highest standards you won't even hold yourself to.
And then making kids with all those women. Because a lot of these dudes, and again, as you said, make the simp shit make sense. A lot of these dudes, like the Futures, it's about control. And the same way that dudes go, oh, she wanted to get a baby to trap me. A lot of dudes do the same stuff. Do the same exact thing. If I have a baby with her, man, now I get to dictate who. Now all of a sudden you feel like she and the child are your property, and you could tell her, oh no, can't.
Yeah, I got a baby by her, so I know I can get it from her at any point in time because that's my baby mother. But nigga, no.
Or, well, you can't have that dude around my kid. He can't be around my kid. You, again, as much as men talk about women use kids, so do y'all.
They do, and see the difference between the woman and the man. For real, see, that the one thing you can't tell me, oh, you can't have no man around my kids. Okay, well, then you take the kid. Oh, so you just gonna choose? I ain't say I chose him. I said, you said I can't have him around him. Okay, well, then you take. No.
Real
Because
quiet.
a lot of y'all not, a lot of them not gonna take that kid. You know, because if you don't want your child around this other person, okay, then you take the child.
Because please know, if a woman is really like, I don't want my kid around that bitch, she going to get her kid. Period. You can go deal with Toya, Tanya, Tisha, and Teray. You can go deal with all of them. My child is coming with me. When you're done with that chick, you can come get your kid. I will come pick my kid up.
But if you do that, that's when they go, oh, so you now it's reverse psychology. So you gonna choose him? No, you just told me. So I'm going to honor your request
that he's not around the kid.
So you're telling me you want your kid. Cool. Here you go.
Can't be around your kid if you have your kid.
Clearly. Oh, so you just trying to be for the streets? Call it what you want. But you don't want nobody around them. So that means you taking them? No. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is she choosing? Mm-hmm. But you got that kid though. And while you got him, guess what? I can do everything that you was doing. I can be out here for the streets just like you did. You can call me everything that I would have called you. Cool. But you got your kid. You got your witch. See, that's the thing. When women start making, those type of women start making men eat their words, a lot of them will stop saying that. Oh, I told her she couldn't have him around my kid. And she told me to take him. Well, you ain't want him around her, so.
But that's what happens when you get, when everybody wants to play the victim and when people don't want to take real accountability or responsibility. And they keep trying to put it on other people to bring it back. Just like you said with the dude, when the chick even said to Russell Wilson, so you going to tell your daughters to go after what? The futures? I mean, you aggressive. Again, you didn't answer the question. Now you off topic.
Why you so mad though? Why I'm mad? I just asked you a question. I'm not mad. And then she said, first of all, we on the podcast. It's hard to get in the word over 4 people. So yeah, I gotta be loud. Like, but that's what it is.
When you don't have a response, you attack character and you attack person instead of the point. Instead of it going after the thoughts, because you can't, you attack the person and their character or something, or their physicality or something else. You deflect and digress. Thank you for whining with us on this episode of A Little Something to Whine About. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to join us live the last Saturday of every month on YouTube or Instagram. And we'll see you next Wednesday for more fun, more laughs, and of course, more wine.